Welcome to Construction Junkie's coverage of Groundbreak 2020, Procore's annual construction technology conference. My name is Shane, and right now I'm joined by Caleb Taylor, one of the co-founders of Buildr. Hey, Caleb, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Shane. Excited to be here.
Yeah. So I know Buildr is kind of a newer company. I think I actually ran into you guys at Groundbreak 2 years ago, 2018, and you're just getting started then. So I want to get a little bit of background on you and see why and how you guys started.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we've been around for 3 or so years now, which I think you can almost make the argument for construction tech. That's a long time. This is amazing. I know it's growing fast, but no, we've been loving it. And the kind of origin story of Buildr is I'm one of 3 co-founders. My other 2 co-founders are actually longtime former Procore engineers.
Okay.
They were there back when Procore was still a startup, believe it or not, with I think they were there when Procore had a total of 40 employees, played a really big role in building the platform and knew it really well, and just saw how much value Procore was adding with this course of construction project management platform. And then we just saw an awesome place to step in when it came to post-construction. And so taking that knowledge that, Ed Gonzalez and Mike Stock both had of the Procore platform, we realized we could build something for post-construction that works for Procore or non-Procore users, but is incredibly useful for Procore users because that integration's deep.
Yeah. So what was kind of the feedback you guys were hearing as you were thinking of creating Buildr, and from either the contractor side or the owner side?
Yeah, I mean, just to give everybody kind of background and perspective. So when I say post-construction, what Buildr does is really a couple different things. One is we help automate the closeout process. The second is we have this full warranty management tool. And the whole goal is to equip the general contractor to add as much value and over delivery as possible for the owner. What we call it project handover done right. And so as far as feedback that we got from both GC and owner, from the GC side first was nobody enjoys closeout. I don't think I've met anybody that's like, oh, favorite part of the job is waking up and collecting documents and renaming them and organizing them and begging subs to send me O&Ms and warranties, right? It's a painful process that is crazy time consuming. And we save like a minimum of 140 hours during the closeout process just by automating that. But also the closeout process itself is something that typically is kind of forgotten and not thought about. And typically project teams, the goal is to move on to the next project as fast as possible, right? So you've got a team member who's usually on another job that's still collecting documents for the old one. There's no standard process for how a company does this. So Buildr provides that standardization, makes life a lot easier and saves a crazy amount of time. But we also don't want to just check off a box like, okay, I did it the same way we've done it for the last 20 years. It's actually way more helpful for the owner what Buildr is able to provide when it comes to that final documentation of the whole project. We view that as a chance to actually over deliver. The GC should view this as like an opportunity to increase client retention. And anybody that puts an emphasis on taking care of their clients, that's kind of who Buildr is made for, is people that care about investing in their current clients, over delivering for them, giving them access to their data through the linked folders and files, but also online and through the mobile app and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I'm a project manager myself, and I know you don't get the luxury of having that clean break of, hey, let me go ahead and finish this project to completion. You've already got 1 or 2 other projects on, in the pipeline that you got to be working on a month or 2 before the last project's done. So anything that can help that process is great. So, how exactly does it work? How do you get all the information into the system, and how does it show up?
So I'll just focus for right now on the way Procore users experience it, because that's kind of what we're talking about here. So it really deeply integrates with Procore, so much to the point where, when you log in, you're actually going to log in with your Procore credentials. You hit a big login button. We have the embedded apps. You can do it all inside Procore. But then you just import your specs, import your directory. You can pull in submittals to help you build the list, but the setup is crazy easy. Then you have a dashboard that allows you to see all the different documents you're trying to collect on this project. Hey, here's how many O&Ms I need. here's how many warranties, as-builts, attic stock, whatever it is. And then we help email those subcontractors. So we'll send out automatic emails once a week, make it crazy easy for subs to upload documents because they actually have their own instance of Buildr where they don't have to log in at all.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then at the end, once you've collected all the documents, we have this button that I always refer to as the magic life-changing green button, where the project team member clicks it and it builds the whole package for them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea, is just like, all right, let's save as much time as possible and make it easy to manage multiple different closeouts at once, or you being on another job and still doing that closeout, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I didn't actually know about the subcontractor management. That's such a time-consuming process, following up with people and that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
just to have that go in the background, that's pretty awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And what's been, after you guys have been started for a while, what's been the response from the project owner side? Are they thrilled with having a neatly packed package of information, or how are they utilizing it?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. It's been really cool to see how this is helpful. I feel like a thought that's in, the GC project management side for some individuals, like maybe if it's a PE or somebody that's putting this package together, there's always that thought in the back of their head, which is like, is this a waste of time? Like, is anyone going to look at this freaking binder that I'm making right now? Yeah. And a lot of times, if you're still making a binder, then you hand that to your client and they put that in a closet, and then nobody looks at that. Right. And if something comes up, they need info, then they're picking up the phone and they're calling that GC saying, hey, where's that warranty? Or can you send this to me? And so for owners now, the way that the project is actually delivered to them is actually setting them up for success, because it's making that data usable. We're bringing them into the 21st century. So they don't have binders in their closet or even just folders and files on a server. Mm-hmm. We will always provide those folders and files with the linked PDF that are independent of any platform, so you can be confident you have your own copy. But now they can actually access all the information from their phone or from their tablet. So now facility team members can walk around the building, be standing at the unit, type in air handler unit or any word they want, and pull up any data, any document that has to do with that word for their building. And we also have online access, so they can easily find everything. So, I mean, we've had, like even a more recent customer was a huge medical company that has their own construction company inside of it. For them, they actually realized that they were spending so much money on actually fixing and replacing items that were under warranty, but they had no way of even knowing if it was under warranty because they had all these binders and closets. And now with Buildr, they said they use the word millions, but they now can actually, right there from their phone or their online access, search for that project and see, oh, this thing's under warranty. It needs to be replaced, but we don't have to pay for that. We can send that back to the GC who passes it on to the sub. And just by being able to access their data has been a game changer, Yeah.
And there's actually a whole system for that where you can, within Buildr, create a warranty call, send it to the contractor, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got the full warranty management tool where the owner has their own account of Buildr. So we have owners that purchase Buildr and mandate their GCs use it. And we have GCs who purchase Buildr in order to over deliver for their owners, right? Yeah. So the owner has their own account. They can go in and not only access all the closeout information, photos, files, whatever they want, keep track of all their warranties, but they can also make a warranty claim. So they fill out a request, it pings the correct person at the GC. Again, it's integrated into Procore so they can see all the vendors that were on the job, assign it to the sub, get the item fixed, and everybody's collaborating in one spot.
Yeah. So obviously Buildr is a lot easier to be used if it's also integrated with Procore, but you don't have to use Procore, right? You can also upload.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We've got customers that, for both owner and GC side that are not Procore users. And the biggest difference is really that project setup. It's so easy if you're a Procore user because you just click import, import, import. Otherwise, you're just importing spreadsheets, which is easy enough too. You just import your directory and specs. Yeah. But yeah, it works fine for non-Procore users as well.
Perfect. Can we get a little taste of how it looks?
Yeah, definitely. Let me show you here. So this is the dashboard for a specific project when you're thinking about closeout on the GC side. So now I can easily see at a glance the percentage of how far along we are with this closeout package, which subs have the most open requirements. I can generate a report that's either organized by categories or trades to see who's still missing what. That provides a lot of transparency company-wide. I can click into a specific sub and see what they owe me, the status of each of those items. And then we have the document request tool, as I mentioned, that makes it really easy for them to send out requests to the subs. The subs don't have to log in. The email that the sub gets will actually look like it's coming from that individual at the GC, because if it was coming from some company called Buildr, they'd throw that in the trash because they don't know what the heck Buildr is.
Right. Yeah.
So we've made it really simple for subs, but once a week email goes out so that these documents are always flowing back in for the individual at the GC to approve those documents. Once they approve them, mark them as complete, they don't have to think about that individual document again, because at the end, they would just go to project delivery, they click export, they see a list of all these different categories of all the documents they've collected. And this is that life-changing green button. They click create, and it just builds the whole export for them. That individual would then get a zip file. When they unzip the zip file, this is what it looks like. A very simple, folder file format of everything from this project for the closeout package. You got categories first, then the subcontractor, and then the document that correlates with that sub and with that category. You can also do this all by specs if you want. But all the magic is here in the table of contents. The table of contents is what makes it easy to find everything. This is what the table of contents looks like. Title of your project, photo of your job. This would be the GC logo, GC name here, and then hyperlinks to make it really easy to get to everything. This first section for Procore jobs, these are all different Procore tools that we just synced directly out of. It's like a real-time sync, which is nice. So every time an RFI is closed, it's automatically saved in your closeout package. Every time a drawing's published, automatically saved, a markup's added, anything like that. And then one thing I usually like to highlight is the drawings are organized the same way as in Procore. But if I were to open up a drawing, we've actually recreated all the deep hyperlinks. So instead of you clicking on a link on a drawing and that taking you back into Procore or whatever, now I can click on an RFI and it just opens up that RFI for me right away. So for any GCs that are doing that manually, that immediately saves weeks of time.
Yeah. It saves you from having that closet with the big roll of drawings that's collecting several years of dust. So
that's correct. And then we've got all these different, everything we collected from our subs, bookmarks automatically made. It's kind of nice too, because this PDF is just pointing to those folders and files I showed you before. So even if we have videos, mp4.mov, I can click this link as though it was a PDF, and then it would just open up that video however my computer's designed to open up videos, which is nice. So that's how the export looks, which is something most owners always want to have, right? The security, being able to put that on their server is big, to know this is independent of any platform, any project management tool, Buildr, anything. I have all my data independent of everything. But then in addition, we've built the full owner's tool. So if you're a GC purchasing this, the owner actually has their own account here. This is what the owner's account looks like. So now they can see everything in terms of their facilities. They can dive into a facility, and then they can see all of the closeout documents that have been provided them, either sorted by categories or trades. So now if they're looking for, a specific O&M, they click on O&Ms right here, and then they dive into the specific trade. Like if they're looking for a plumbing O&M, and then they can see that hot water heater O&M that they were looking for and pull it up right there. So this, for a lot of people, has been a game changer because it's much easier to navigate and find stuff. You can pull in all the photos automatically, so it's easier than just seeing a folder. You can actually see the photos there that you were looking for. And then they have that warranty request tool, so that they could fill out a warranty request, say, hey, I've got an HVAC issue. It's happening on the 3rd floor. It's not turning on. They could, if it's a facility that has multiple buildings or projects, they could indicate there which project this one's happening on. And then typically if there's a photo that would go along with this of the issue, so they could add that photo in here. They then click create, and it then pings the individual at the GC that handles warranty claims. And now everyone's collaborating in one place. The GC is able to connect that to the correct sub, get that fixed, And now nothing's falling through the cracks. It's an awesome service for the owner, but then it allows the GC to actually have some really powerful reporting. So they can now, since everything's flowing through Buildr, they could say, hey, let's look at all the warranty issues that have happened over the last 6 months or year, 2 years, and they can see which subs have the most warranty issues. Or, hey, every time we install this thing, it breaks early and costs us money because the sub wasn't able to get out fast enough. And so we know any dollar that we lose during the warranty period is a direct hit on profits. So the whole goal of the warranty tool is, yes, to increase collaboration and to make sure nothing falls through the cracks, but really to protect your profit margins has been one of the biggest values that the GCs, have experienced. And then for the owners, it's the easiest way to actually get these claims to the GCs to make sure nothing falls through the cracks and we get it fixed as fast as possible.
Yeah. And that could really be a value add for the contractor to offer to the owner. I mean, it's so much easier to get repeat business from the same owner. And if they can if you set the standard with that, project closeout packet that you guys have, I mean, that's a win-win for everybody involved. So,
yeah, that's what we've seen. Buildr has, been growing and been making a big difference for GCs and owners for a long time, but it's been interesting to see just even during COVID, we've heard from customers that, now it's more important than ever to invest in those existing clients, just because repeat business might be harder to win in the future than it has been for the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And so more and more people, I feel like, are, have said for years, the client experience is something we care about. But then when it comes to closeout and warranty management, those phases have no standard process and are afterthoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And now we say that's actually the last touch point with your clients. Like that should be when you are thinking about finishing strong, over delivering. It's their last memory of working with you. And that's what we've seen has a direct correlation with increased repeat business. And that's kind of what we think of when we say project handover done right. Like not just the bare minimum and what it's been for years. We want to do it right, which means save GC's time, make it so that owners actually have access to everything and can use it and manage that facility well and set them up for success,
That's such an important point, because I've been a part of so many projects that like the first 90% goes amazingly well, and then the last 10% it's like, all right, fill out your paperwork, let me get this, like I want to get going on the next thing too. I need you to come along. So yeah, that's so important if it makes it easier. And it's like you said, you have that good taste in your mouth at the end of the project as opposed to the beginning of it,
That's exactly right. And the way you describe that final phase is how we've heard people describe it for years. It's just something you like get through. You just finish it. And you don't think about it. You're already on your next job and you're just trying to get it done.
Yep.
But what if that was actually a really amazing, positive experience in your client's mind? And if you're the owner, what if you were able to equip your GC to finish strong? You had control over what every turnover package looked like, no matter what GC you worked with.
Yeah.
It doesn't vary from contractor to contractor, or even, which individual person on a project team is doing it. Like now it's just a standard, exactly what to expect, exactly how to find everything and how to use that data.
Yeah, that's great. So how can we find more information about Buildr?
Yeah. You go to our website, buildrtech.com. Buildr doesn't have an E because we're a tech company. So we obviously had to misspell it. You drop a letter. That's like a rule. So it's buildrtech.com. We've got a bunch of info there about both tools, with closeout and warranty. Those, we actually don't sell those separately. Again, like when we're talking about doing handover right, those go hand in hand. They're a big part. So it's a part of our platform. So you can actually reach out to us. We can do, a more in-depth demo. We also have a newsletter that you could subscribe to there, buildrtech.com/newsletter. It's a great way to just keep up with what's happening in the industry, but it's also very funny. Like our writer is hilarious. So if you want to hear some, just a fun recap of what's happening in the industry and the world, just subscribe and you can keep up with us.
Yeah, it is a great newsletter. And I do think it's much better when there's Construction Junkie links in there, but
you do. That makes sense. Regardless, I can see why you feel that way.
You guys have shared a lot of articles, so I do appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, man. What you're doing has been awesome. It's been really fun. We love being a part of stuff like this too, but you've kept everyone in the industry so informed, and the information you're putting out is so helpful.
I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Caleb. You can also find Buildr at Groundbreak, which will be held virtually on October 27th and 28th. And
Yep.
for those interested in attending, I actually have a $10 off coupon code for the registration, and I'll put that code in the link below. It'll also be on the article that'll come out in conjunction with this. And as always, be sure to check out constructionjunkie.com for the most interesting construction news and technology.